Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. My name is Donnie, and for today we're going to discuss what is variance. This is a topic that I usually get a lot whenever I conduct Excel for data analysis training, like why should we calculate variance? What's the importance of variance? So today I'm going to make a video about this. So let's start with the definition of variance and then how we apply variance in different scenarios. And then we're going to discuss some tools or formulas in Excel that can help us calculate the variance of numbers. So first, what is variance and why is average not enough? So variance show how consistent or scattered values are around the average. So simply put, let's say that you have the average here and you have the other numbers surrounding it. So the idea is that the variance pertains to how far the numbers are from the center or the average. A high variance number or set has different data points scattered, while a small variance are just gathering like all together, making it look more consistent than just spread around data or numbers. So variance, its simple definition, measures how far numbers usually are from the average. So the lower the variance is, the more predictable it becomes. So if your numbers are consistent or very similar in terms of variance of their distance from each other, then you could say that it's more predictable versus a high variance set of numbers, which is inconsistent or risky. So let's have an example here. So let's say that I have five numbers here and they are all near the average. They're not far behind. So they're not far from each other. So you could say that these numbers have low variance. On the other hand, I have the average here, let's say, and then the numbers are scattered all over. Yes, they have the same average. Take note. Okay. They're sharing the same number as the average, but the first one is more consistent while the second one has the same average, but is a little bit more inconsistent when it comes to its performance or when it comes to whatever it's trying to measure. So they have the same average, but different speed, for example, or different value or different spread. Okay. So the idea is that it answers how reliable is the average because you don't just trust the average. Two people may have the same average score in, let's say, an exam, and that exam may have different parts, different components. So overall, they scored 90, but it doesn't mean that they share the same competencies. Like the other person A, may be good in the essay writing, that's why he got 90. While the other person may be good in the multiple choice exam, the objective exam, that's why he got 90. So they got the same score, but it doesn't mean that they're the same. Okay. So variance help us solve or answer these kinds of questions. So let's have another scenario. So let's say we're talking about travel time. So let's say we have two people, both with an average of 30 minutes going to work. So they arrive at the work at the same average per week. But one commuter is easier to plan around. So let's say that for the first person, his daily commute is 28, 30, 31, 29, and 32 minutes. While the other person's commute is 10, 20, 30, and 45 and 45. So let's say that's the Monday to Friday. If you average these numbers, 28 plus 30 plus 31 plus 29 plus 32 divided by 5, you will get 30. On the other hand, person B will also get the same average, 10 plus 20 plus 30. That would be 60 plus 245, so that would be 90. So that's 150 divided by 5. That will also be 30 minutes. So both of them share 30 minutes average. So would you say that their commute is the same with each other? Would you say that they experience the same difficulty? They travel the same length when goes to work? Not necessarily. The average only tells you when you try to level or put the values at the same level, but it doesn't mean that the experience is the same. The first person has a more predictable commute time, while the other person is unpredictable. So this is how you differentiate averages from variances. Let's have another example. So by the way, before that, they have the same average, but second person may have a different planning risk. Therefore, the second person may need to investigate why there are days that has a low commute time, why some days have high commute time. On the other hand, the first person is an average. So meaning whatever he's doing is consistent. It's just the same. Maybe the traffic is just the same as well. The vehicle is always on time. So there's less planning needed for the first person. Another example, let's say something work related. Let's say we have two employees, both averaging 10 customer requests per hour. But it doesn't mean that the consistency is the same. Let's say that this first employee here worked for 5 hours and the average requests per hour is 9, 10, 10, 11, and 10. Let's say from 8 o'clock, 9 requests, 10, at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 10 requests, and so on. The other person has requests the same time for 16, 7, 15, and 8. If you add these numbers up, you will get the same average. Now, the idea here is that on the left side, though it shares the same average as the second employee, in application, in work, the manager needs to forecast workload and staffing more confidently because the requests are consistent throughout the hours. On the other hand, for the second employee, some hours may create a backlog or long customer waiting time. So therefore, for this type of distribution of numbers, you may need to assign another person to back the employee B to address requests from the second hour and the fourth hour because they're spiking up. So yes, at the end of the day, they gave out the same output, they have the same number of tickets, but the way to address them is not the same. So that is how we address variance. In work, variance helps spot process issues, uneven workloads, system delays, or reliability problems. Now in Excel, we can calculate variance in two ways. So using the right variance formula will depend on whether your data is just a sample of the data set, of the entire data set, or the full population. If what you have is just a sample of the data, it's not everyone, it's not everybody, it's not every data point, then you have to use the function VAR.S or sample variance. So use this when your data is only part for a larger group. For example, you want to get the variance of survey responses of a bigger set of results. You want to get the variance of a sample of an employee output, but that's not the output of everyone, or that's not the output, all the output of that person. Then use VAR.P, the population variance, if you are sure that your data includes everything that you care about, or all the data that you need, the entire population, not just a sample like the first one. So for example, all branches in the company, when you're sure that your data is from everyone, then that means you can use the VAR.P function. All days in a fixed period, for example, you can also use the VAR.P function for that. So to demonstrate these functions, let's go to Excel. Now, let's say that here we have two employees, we have tickets completed, okay, not per hour, correct that, per day. So from July 1st to July 10, the manager measured the number of tickets that they give out per day. So the supervisor now wants to determine which employee has more consistent daily performance using the ticket completion data. So we have to calculate the average and sample variance for employee A and B so that we can see who is more reliable and why. So in this case, let's first find out if they share the same number for an average. So average is simply equal average, open parentheses, then get the cells. And now you have the average of this employee is he or she produces 20 outputs per day. Now we're going to apply the same formula to the second employee. So you will see that this employee also has the same average. So if you're going to just judge these two employees on the service level, on just the average, you will say that they are experiencing the same thing because they have the same average. But variance can tell us if that's really indeed the picture. If they have almost the same variance, then you could say that, yes, they're somehow the same. You could apply whatever you want to apply on both of them and they will be fine. But so let's calculate that. Now, since this is only part of the work of the employee, probably there's the data before this and after this, after the dates, then you have to use VAR.S function. Open parentheses, and you simply have to get the numbers that you want to get the variance from. Don't forget to exclude any other numbers like the average. Enter, and you will see that the average, or sorry, the variance of this employee is 0.44. Now, let's look at the variance of the second employee using the same formula or function, var.s. And you will see that this person has a super high variance of 74.88. So what this tells us is that employee A is more consistent. Okay, his or her variance is less than 1. So meaning from the average, they're just like less than 1 away from the average when it comes to the numbers. And that's actually something you will see because as you could see, the average is 20 and employee A is like going from 19 to 21, 19 again, 21. So it's not really far from the number 1. That's why you get a less than 1 variance. On the other hand, for employee B, you get inconsistent dates. Some days have higher tickets, some days have lower tickets, resulting into a variance of 74.88. So that means the employee B is super varied when it comes to its output or his or her output per day. So if I'm the manager of these two people, I will I will try to investigate what's happening with employee B. I will find out what happened on July 1st or in July 2nd. Okay, that somehow is far from the average of 20. So that's how I'm going to investigate. On the other hand, employee A, I will try to investigate why. Okay, it's consistent. I'm not saying that employee A is better. It's more of that employee B is experiencing different or more difference of whatever they are doing compared to employee A. And with that, we saw how you can calculate variance and what they mean in Excel or in how we do it in Excel and what they mean in the real world. I hope this video helped you somehow. And if it did, we would appreciate like and subscribe in the channel. If you have any questions or if there's any comment that you want to say about this, please feel free to use the comment section and we'll try to address them as soon as possible. But for now, that's it, and I'll see you in the next video.